Hello and welcome to Kman Gaming. I am Kman and this is Factorio. We are going to need an awful lot of things to be able to create our 3000 yellow science. Let's have a quick look. We need 1.2k of electric mining joules onto copper, 843 on iron and 109 on coal. So let's go and do that now straight away. There we have it, our smelting setup for yellow science. The first thing that we should really get rid of is our steel. That takes up 6 of our lines. And there we have it, 6 arrays of steel being smelted. They will go into 2 full lanes of blue belts eventually. And now we need to build our pipes and our iron gear wheels. These are a 1-to-1 and it's done in a 12 beaconed setup with a yellow assembly machine. That is our iron pipes and our gear wheels being produced. Due to the size of the oil refineries, you can actually use 10 beacons. This is the easiest recipe here. We've just got the lubricant there being made into 2 chemical plants. Petroleum will go into 16 chemical plants, and I believe we've already got something very, very similar here. So ticking off our list, that is petroleum, that is lubricant, that is sulfur, that is plastic, that is sulfuric acid, all done. We need to start moving on to the engine unit, so that takes steel, iron gear wheels and iron pipes. We need to start thinking about creating the green electronic circuits. All of the green circuits have been built. Copper goes in, iron will come in and down, goes in to create us almost 11 belts of green electronic circuits at a time. Now that we have finished our green circuits, it makes sense that we bring across our red advanced circuits and our blue processing units as well, so that we can make them all in the same place. We're going to need to leave one belt of green circuits for the other bits and pieces that require it, so that leaves us 10 lots of belts. So let's start around about here. And here we go. So this is our blue circuits build. We've got our red circuits will come down, be split off there, and one line will feed them all. And then we've got all of our green circuits coming on the other side because it needs 20 of each. Oops. And then it will all be outputting down here. So that should be our circuit production finished and over and done with. Now we need to start producing our electric engine units. We have got 8 regular engine units here. We now need to feed that into 12 for electronic circuits and for electric engine units. We will also need lubricant and electronic circuits. We now need to crack on and make the batteries. We need to create our low density structures, and this is going to be a rather large build. And here we have it, our low density structure build. All of this only creates less than 1 blue belt of low density structures, so it's going to be a nice easy one to transport. Now it's time to bring together these 4 ingredients to produce the flying robot frame. Last but not least, we have the yellow science build, and that is just bringing together the blue processing units, the flying robot frames, and the low density structures. Let's turn this beast on then. Let's turn on this one currently, and the iron goes through into iron gear wheels primarily, and then into some iron pipes as well. Those iron pipes go up and the gear wheels go up, and they start feeding into our engines. Another lot of iron goes all the way along this way and feeds through into what will become our sulfur. An awful lot of that iron gets turned into steel. All of our copper here, and that gets put directly into our copper smelting, and that will go into our green circuits. And we can see here that it's nearly filling up with the green circuits, and that will come through and it will be evened out nicely here. The majority of the green circuits goes into the blue circuits processing, and plastic will eventually come down. And that is our oil turned on, and each of those comes up to its own little tank here. Now the first thing that we need to do is turn some heavy oil into lubricant. If heavy oil gets above 10,000, this will turn on. As soon as heavy oil gets above, it gets cracked into the rest. So light oil now can go and get cracked, and that feeds into our petroleum gas. And as soon as this fills up to 10, we'll start seeing these turn on. There we go. So that's all being fed through now, and that also will go up, round, and feed through into our cracking. And that will mean that our petroleum gas is always kept topped up, and petroleum gas feeds into our plastic here. And half of the plastic will go down to do low density structures, and half of it will come up to go across into our blue circuits production. The new and improved red circuits now will mean that everything gets a full lane. And all of that feeds down and through and into what will be one lane of red. Now our sulfur is being produced, and that goes directly into our sulfuric acid production, and that will feed our sulfuric acid into our batteries. Now that we have sulfuric acid into our blue circuits, we can turn on the red circuits, and most everything gets used up now. And we can see our first blue chips, and these will go directly into our yellow science production. Steel gets turned into a whole host of things. We can follow it first around here, and it will go down there to go our low density structures. But while we're close to it all, let's turn on our engines. So we now have our engines being produced, and that will lead on then to also allowing our electric engines to be produced. Steel will also go into our flying robot frames, but for now we will follow it down and along, and our steel gets turned into 2 rows of 6, and we can see here that is our low density structures going along nicely there. And we've just got 1 row left of green circuits that we need to connect up. Here are green circuits just coming up to our electronic engines, and they come round and ready to be put into our flying robot frames. And our flying robot frames, as soon as they're produced, will go onto these little conveyor belts here, and they will come out the other end onto here to be merged into one. Our flying robot frames then come across to join our low density structures and our blue circuits on here, and we can start seeing our first ones being produced. Marvellous. And they will all start getting stored into there. So let's have a look at how many we're producing at the moment. 2.8, 2.9, ooh, so close, and there we go, 3,000 yellow signs a minute. Absolutely marvellous. That is where we're going to leave the episode today. If you have seen anything that you liked or you really didn't like, if you've seen any mistakes I've made, or if you've seen anything that you think I can do better, please do leave a comment, and I will try and get those fixed in the coming episodes. Equally, if you've enjoyed what you've seen today, please do like and subscribe so it helps me get this channel off the ground. That is it from me. Stay safe, and I will see you again soon.